No other brand does this that good unless you spend much more money. It's probably the most recognized mechanical watch on AliExpress, the undisputed titan in this space. This is my Steeldive 1970 automatic. I bought and reviewed it 4 years ago and I sucked. I missed a lot of ugly truths and some big wins that went unnoticed. So it's time to pull this brute out of the vault, otherwise known as my watchfinder, for some real-world feedback after 4 years of actually living with the watch. Also, the modifications to avoid, one to consider, and one big upgrade you'll thank me for. The resourceful enthusiast will know this is a Homage watch. Inspired by the Seiko 6105, countless brands have offered their rendition of this legendary silhouette. Some I've bought and sold, I kept the Steeldive. What separates this from the pack is first, a remarkably well executed case. I can best demonstrate with a direct on-screen comparison to a part from another manufacturer. See how the Steeldive has really defined geometry, particularly around this asymmetrical area, whereas this one looks like a bad jelly mold of softened sunken edges. It's probably hard to shape this complex form and get something that looks distinct when finished. The front face is finished with a satin radial brush. The left flank nails that classic sweeping cushion profile. The sides have a high polish to pull off that neat trick of capturing a reflection of your arm. It almost vanishes the sides to make the stainless steel case look slim, which it's not particularly. I measure 13.7mm. It's for people that want to watch with character, but also demand comfort. Delivered here with this all-important compact lug-to-lug distance of 48mm. Some manufacturers don't get the thread right in the screw-in crown, which then becomes a battle. Not here. It engages first time every time, and it has that smooth pop when you reach the end of the thread. It's so good, it's the only diver from my collection that encourages me to unscrew the crown to give it a manual wind. Steeldive branding on the case back is bold and useful. It's got a bit of friction to help prevent the watch slipping when on wrist. Accidental, I suppose. It has a lateral brush on the rear of the case, and it did have the same motif on the crown as on the case back, but I don't like signed crowns, so I sanded it smooth and polished it. Buying a Steeldive from Steeldive gets confusing because so many stores have them, so I'll direct you to the exact listing from Steeldive's official store from my link in the description and the pinned comment. That's an affiliate link. If you use it and buy something, I can earn a small fee. It helps keep the channel independent and doesn't cost you any extra. Next, the dial. This is one of the things that you should not try to swap. I fitted a few different dials, and what I learned was you can't buy a better dial than the one already installed. It's what Steeldive does best. We're in my wardrobe. Steeldive presents lumed indices, hands, and a bezel insert that are so bright it looks like a timepiece with a push-button LED backlight. Of course, we're looking at Lume paint. Listings don't always specify what kind, but it's widely believed that the hands and dial indices use C3 Super Luminova, while the ceramic bezel markings are thought to be BGW9. The next mod you'll run into a problem with, if attempted, is a bezel insert swap. Most people prefer this ceramic insert already installed, but my favourite is steel or aluminium. Anyway, you can't do it because when you take the OEM insert out, you'll notice it doesn't have a flat cross section. Instead, it's stepped and it sits on a stepped ridge, so a flat metal insert doesn't have enough contact area to fix it in place. Watch this. Because we have a flat sapphire crystal and a reflective bezel insert sitting on the same plane, if you angle it just right, the whole watch face completely washes out with reflection. That's my most hated torment, the signature of almost every Chinese Homage watch. It's why I explored a matte bezel, but today's listings all have anti-reflective sapphire crystal, and you could consider fitting a low dome crystal to break up that flat plane for a vintage aesthetic. It's a certified head turner with a massive spec. I'll throw some stats on screen. It's no wonder it scores a whopping 4.9 out of 5 on AliExpress, and no one else is whining about reflections, just me. And 4 years later, I can report the sapphire and ceramic have done their job. Both remain pristine with 0 scratches, and legibility is outstanding in direct sunlight with its matte black dial and thick contrasting indices. Top tip, I highly recommend choosing one of the rubber strap setups. Here's why. People make a big deal about the bracelet having solid links. It does, that's nice. And in 2026, the SD1970 comes with a part milled clasp, whereas the one fitted to my bracelet was fitted by myself. Actually, the steel bracelet is pretty good if you're a bracelet guy. But you can slash about 50 grams off the weight and $5 off the price by opting for rubber. If you want to emulate the aesthetic of the Captain Willard Seiko, famously worn in Apocalypse Now, you need a chocolate bar strap for historical accuracy, like this one. I think they're too shiny. My choice is a Waffle strap, a style that also appeared in some earlier shot scenes. It just belongs here, and it's grippy, prevents the watch slipping down my wrist, and you can spec this strap at checkout. We all know the rock-solid reputation of the NH35 automatic movement, but with prices climbing, getting this legendary reliability at Steeldive's price bracket, the smart window I'd say, won't last forever. Subscribe if you want to.